gentlemen, what the world has been waiting for, what the world needs now, the one, the only, amazing, original, Johnny Blaze. Often imitated, but never duplicated. There's Johnny.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show. It's always great to be here as I blaze right in with my karate kick. Let's have a blazing hot fun time. A 10-year-old boy was walking down the street when a black car pulled up beside him. The driver lowered his window and began to speak. "I'll give you a large bag of candy if you get in the car." "No way," replied the boy. "How about a bag of candy and $50? "Get lost," replied the boy. "What will it take to get you inside this car?" asked the driver. The boy replied, "Please, Dad, stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. Just take the Volvo and go home." At the height of a political corruption trial, the prosecuting attorney was grilling the defendant in the witness stand. "Isn't it true," he asked, "that you accepted $5,000 to compromise this case?" The witness said nothing. Finally, the judge leaned forward and said, "You must answer the prosecutor's question." "Oh, I'm sorry," the witness said. "I thought he was talking to you." A wife asked her husband, "If you won the lottery, would you still love me?" The husband replied, "Of course I would. You wouldn't be able to find me, but I would still love you." What is the name of the world's richest Asian businessman? Cha-ching! We have a blazing hot fun show with a special guest. She is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, and guitarist. Please give a big warm welcome and say hello to the one and only Pam Ross. Welcome to the amazing original Johnny Blaze Show, Pam.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You?
Doing just fine.
You look nice. You got a nice smile. You look happy. Great. That's great. Anyway, give me a rundown, Pam. Tell me about the Pam Ross story. How did you get started in entertainment? Where are you from?
Oh, where am I from? Well, I was born in Pittsburgh, and then that's where I was raised. And then after high school, I left and I moved to Houston. And that's where I spent most of my life. But I moved to North Carolina in 2020, so that's where I currently am, on the East Coast.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Well, you're in North Carolina. I thought you were in Nashville. You're in North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah. A little further south.
Oh, all right. Very good. Well, yeah, give me a rundown. Tell me about how'd you get started in entertainment? So you're from North Carolina.
No, I'm not from North Carolina. I've only lived here a couple of years.
No, you're not from there originally. Okay.
No. Like I said, I was born in Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh. Okay.
Pittsburgh. As in Steelers, as in the Steelers.
Gotcha. All right.
And spent most of my life in Houston, down on the Bay, on the Gulf Coast, and moved here in 2020, June of 2020, actually. And music is what I always wanted to do. When I was a kid, I just my cat's going to say hi.
Hello.
Just started writing lyrics when I was about 13 or so. Got little beats in my head and started writing down lyrics, and then got a guitar and started playing. And actually, I started my first band when I was in Houston, and played around there for a while. Played up in Austin, and then I moved to Nashville all by myself and played there, and actually met with some record companies while I was up there, and they didn't feel that I was country, but they could easily make me country. I met with Gary Harrison of Mercury Records, and I didn't feel that it would have been me. This was a while back. I was much younger, and country was what you'd call still country. And so I said no, and I went back home to Houston, and went back and got a couple degrees at the University of Houston, and I'd say about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, I just started missing playing, and so I started playing again. And I just got up one day and I started looking at places to play in open mics. The world had just started reopening after COVID, and started writing songs again, and went and got some musicians and went and recorded 10 songs, and kind of here I am.
Oh, interesting. Full circle. So you
Yes, very much so. Yes.
so you studied in school a couple. What did you get the degrees in? What were your?
My bachelor's is in criminal justice with a minor in psychology, and my master's is in security management for executives, and then my second master's is in healthcare administration.
So you're well-rounded then. You're doing different things. Were there any jobs before you got into entertainment versus singing and performing? Any jobs that you did?
In between, like the first time I was in music and when I got back in it, yes, I was in law enforcement.
Oh, really? Police? Oh.
Yes. Yes, very different.
Well, whatever it takes to, I guess, to survive and pay the bills, right?
Well, I was graduating and they were there on career day, so I was like, okay, they had health insurance.
Okay. And now, as far as your performing, are you self-taught, or do you take lessons in singing and also the guitar?
When I was a kid, when I first started playing, I took lessons for a little bit. But really, what helped me the most whenever I was playing was just going and getting the music books for the songs I liked, and just learning to play them. That's really what helped me with my guitar the most. And as far as songwriting, I just always wrote them. I don't know. I always listened to the radio a lot. And so that's really how I learned to write songs, by listening to the radio. I knew you wrote a couple verses. You had this chorus that had to come up. And then you had this little thing that kind of changed, which I later learned was called a bridge. And I just learned how to write songs from my favorite songs on the radio growing up. Just really? That's kind of how you did it, and your songs had to be a certain length of time, and I just kind of mimicked that. Like that's how I thought a song should sound, like what I heard in the radio. 3.5 minutes and kind of catchy. And
so how do you go about writing a catchy hit song? How do you go about doing that? Is it words or music first, or vice versa, whatever?
For me, it's the music first.
Okay.
Come up with some kind of beat. Sometimes it just comes into my head, and sometimes I'll just sit here fumbling around on my guitar, and it's like, okay, there it is, there, and I start coming up with the words then.
So probably based on your experiences, and besides listening to radio, probably your experiences how you get ideas for songs, right?
It just comes to me whenever I start writing the music. Things just kind of come to me. And every once in a while, I'll sit down and say, okay, I want to write a song about this. Or, my last song was a sad song. I definitely want to write a happy song this time. I don't want to write 2 sad songs in a row. So I'll purposely kind of gear in on that. But
happy or sad songs, or are they about the same, or anything particular?
No. I mean, no, I try not to write about the same thing all the time. You don't want everything to be the same. Every song to be about the same thing, every song to sound the same. So luckily when I was growing up, I had a lot of different musical influences. My mom was big into country music. So that's really the first music I heard. And then my brother and 2 sisters, they're a bit older than me. They were into rock music. So I listened to a lot of rock music. So I like rock and country and indie and metal and all kinds of stuff. So when I write, I never know what's going to come out. And you'll hear that if you listen to my record. One song, I'm basically called Americana. One song might kind of lean more country, and then you're going to hear the next song, and it's definitely more on the rock side. Whatever comes out just kind of comes out. I try not, I don't fight it. It's just whatever comes out, and The music just kind of takes me somewhere.
It's spontaneous. It's whatever happens, happens. What you're saying.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
And out of all the music, is there any favorites that is country your favorite, or you like?
No, I listen to more rock, definitely.
You like rock? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
What rock do you like? What about it is there that you like?
Really, that it's. I think from a songwriting perspective, it's more fluent. Country can tend to be more in a box. You know that you gotta say things a certain way, and it's very particular, and you have to make everything extremely crystal clear. And I do like to write with imagery, so when someone listening to my song can kind of see it, but it doesn't have to be that way. And rock is kind of just more fluent. And I don't know. I do like a lot of country, but I tend to like more of the older country more than the newer country.
Oh. What do you think about people like Dolly Parton, Linda Ronstadt?
I love Dolly Parton. I mean, there's something wrong with you if you don't. You know, Dolly's like amazing, all the songs she's written. But I love Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, Clint Black, George Strait. You know, just
Taylor Swift. Yeah.
You know, I consider her more pop. She's I think, you know, has had some country songs. I don't know a lot of her music, I'll be honest with you. But I think she's more a country writer, but I mean a pop writer, but a great songwriter.
Or Miley Cyrus. There's so many of them. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many great performers.
Yes.
Ariana Grande, I think it goes on. Linda Ronstadt. I mean, yeah. Garth Brooks. I mean, there's all kinds of people.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Who was your favorite, and who inspired you as far as your singing and songwriting? Is there anybody in particular that motivated and inspired you?
I'm not going to say there's anyone in particular, because I do kind of draw from all different areas. I think Elton John was one of my first ones, because my brother was a big fan of his. And so when I was a little kid, he had Elton John music. So I'd always go and get into it and listen to it. And so I like him a lot. I liked Springsteen for his writing. I also love Pink Floyd. Eddie Van Halen was my guitar hero. And I had loved Van Halen, and particularly Eddie. Big Nirvana fan, of course. And I love the Foo Fighters. I'm a huge Foo Fighters fan. And, I also love, like I said, people like Dolly Parton and Johnny Cash. So my influences they really go across the spectrum.
I see. So it's full of variety. You're not just any one person. You like all kinds of variety of different artists.
Oh yes, definitely.
You're not hemmed in on one thing. Okay, change it up. Very good.
Definitely.
That's interesting. That is interesting. Now on your travels and describe to me your travels and your venues, and have you ever done any touring, and what are your ones that stand out wherever you've traveled, or have you done any touring or anything?
No, I have not. I play out a lot. If you go to my website at pamrossmusic.com, it's got a place for shows, and I play out a lot. I had a show earlier tonight. I just got home from a show, and but I'm playing out. Everyone on my record was hired. The lead guitarist, he lives in Canada. So I play out solo a lot. I do have a lead guitarist now that we play out together, but I'm trying to put together a band so I can start traveling and touring. But right now, for the most part, I'm playing just around the Raleigh area in North Carolina.
Local area then. Okay.
I'm hoping that changes soon. I'm trying to change that.
I see. And you've done some open mics in the past, or have you ever entered any music festivals or contests or anything?
Well, that's where I started playing, was open mics. I think that's where most people start. Right. Open mics are a great place for anyone who's just starting out. They really are. And that is where I started out as well. And I still go to them for fun, because a lot of my friends go there. This is a great place to hang out and meet other musicians and just have a good time.
That's great. So you can network with people.
Oh yeah,
Get
open
connections.
mics are a great place to network. Yes.
Have you have any outstanding experiences you can remember of open mics, or even if you've traveled anywhere? What do you say you're doing local? What you're doing? Have you traveled any other places besides local?
Not recently, but like I said, throughout my career, I played all throughout Houston, Austin,
Oh,
and Nashville. But right now, I'm not. Like I said, I'm trying to put a band together,
I see.
and definitely touring is on the agenda as soon as I get that put together.
I gotcha. And now you play guitar. Do you play as a lead, or rhythm, or bass, or what?
I play rhythm guitar and I play keyboards. I
Oh,
did all the rhythm guitar work and the keyboard work on my
okay.
my
Okay.
album. Mhm.
I see. So you enjoy doing that and singing? Okay. And
Yes.
you have a soprano voice or alto, or what is your vocal?
Probably more towards the alto, I would say.
I see. And what's a typical day now as a singer and songwriter? What is it when you do your singing and songwriting? What is a typical day, Pam?
A typical day for me is getting up and going running and lifting weights and getting my
Oh,
workout done. That's the first thing I do and get out of the way. And then, it varies. I always got a lot of social media stuff you have to do. That takes up a lot of time, but I always got to I'll set aside at least an hour and a half just to practice songs for the set list and try to write. I try to write a lot. The more you write, the better. And so, if I'm not actively trying to write a song, I'm trying to learn a song that I recently wrote. That's what I'm doing right now, trying to get it cemented in so I can go play it out. So I don't forget the lyrics when I'm out there, and go out and play in the evening to a show. So it's really an all day, all night thing. It's a full time job.
yeah. You have a. It sounds like you're very busy. Then you're busy
Yes, I
between
am very busy. Yes.
between your running, your weightlifting, between your songwriting, between your practicing for performing, and your social media. I'm sure you do all the promoting yourself.
Yeah, I do all my Facebook stuff, Instagram, all that myself. Yes.
Well, never a dull moment. There's always something going on.
Yes.
That's a good name. That was my hairstyle. I just had a haircut, and her name was Pam. Also, I told her I was going to do a show with a Pam. How about that? That's just a coincidence. Very good. Let me think. So, in your shows now, on your shows, have you prefer larger crowds or smaller crowds? Or does it make a difference?
Um, I think as long as people are listening, that's what you really want. You know, I'd rather have a room full of, 15 people who are watching than a room full of 50 people and no one's listening at all and everyone's talking. But yeah, you like a bigger crowd. I mean, I like a larger crowd. But for me, the most important thing is that, you can keep their attention.
I see. What is the largest crowd would you say you've had in all your experiences?
Oh, probably a couple hundred.
Couple hundred. Oh, okay. Well,
Which,
yeah,
in the big scheme of things, it's not that big.
you want people to pay attention. That's for sure. Yeah, you don't want them totally avoiding you and so wrapped up talking.
What? She was on stage tonight? Really? Oh, wow. Okay, I missed that.
Right. You ever have a time where the audience was bored? If so, how do you energize the crowd?
um, you know what? When you look out there, and I think it's happened to everyone. If you played out long enough, especially when you're starting out and you're in the beginning, if you ever see that people aren't really paying attention or whatever, I just kind of just look past them, or you look for that one person. There's always going to be someone that's watching, that's listening, and you just focus in on them, and play to them. And that's what I do. Or just go, you know what? I'm up here. I'm getting to be up here on stage. This is what I love to do, and I just focus in on that.
Have you ever had any experiences? If you have, how have you handled it with performance anxiety, and also how do you handle rejection? I mean, it's rejection is every aspect of life. A lot of entertainment, there is a lot of rejection, but you have to be able to handle it. So how do you go about doing it?
The anxiety. I used to get nervous, but it was just kind of like I don't anymore. But I used to, and how I dealt with that was simply, if I get too scared to walk out there on stage, I'll probably never walk out there again. It's just you have to overcome it. It's just that simple. It's those little tests and trials, and you have to be bigger than it, and you have to get past it. And that's, you just take a deep breath and go, all right, I'm good enough. I'm going to do fine. This is going to be a good show, and you go and you do it.
I see. What about rejection? I mean, it happens to everybody, and especially in
happens to everyone.
Rejection. How do you handle it?
You just have to go, you know what? Fine. You don't like my music? Okay. Other people do. And, does it sting? Sure. If anyone tells you it doesn't, I'm going to say they're lying.
Of course.
Really. But you can't focus on that. You have to just go, all right, because you're never going to please everybody.
That's right.
If you're trying to please everyone and you want everybody to love your music,
right,
you better find something else to do, because you're just not going to be able to do that, because everyone likes something different. So if someone says, oh, I don't like this, or, blah, 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 whatever, okay, that person doesn't. Yeah, that sucks, but you know what? Yesterday at my show, I got a bunch of compliments, and I got people asking me where they could buy my music. And you got to look at that.
Look at the positive.
Yes, you just have to learn to just take the hits and go, all right, so they don't like it, fine. But you have to look at who does, and that's how you have to get by.
Right, you can't please everybody. Please yourself. That's what Ricky Nelson went at Madison.
That's it. Yes.
And you can't.
Wrote what was it? Garden Party. That was the name of it.
They were going to throw out rotten eggs at him because he wasn't singing his earlier popular hits, so he came up with the song Garden Party.
Yep.
Right. That was a great popular song. But it's true. If you can't please
it is the truth.
Right. Oh, yeah. Different strokes for different folks. One person's treasure, someone else's trash. That's right.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of music I don't like that are hits. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it's not my style of music. That's all.
Right. Of course. But, again, there's always going to be some things that you love, and there's going to be things that you don't care for.
That's it.
The artist, as long as the artist is loving what they're doing and they're entertaining people, that's important.
Yeah.
Now, have you had any on your shows, any meet and greets and signed any autographs at all?
No. I have signed autographs in my life, but no, I haven't had any meet and greets. I mean, I do have people come up to me after shows and tell me how much they like my music, and where can I buy it and things like that, and that's awesome, really. When have stuff like that.
I was going to ask Nick, what excites you about performing and singing? What is there about it that really excites you, turns you on, and makes you continue to do it and love what you're doing?
It's an outlet, being able to write a song, and then go and play it in front of people. It's very cathartic. It's just it's an outlet, and it's right up there with running. That's one of the reasons I run. It's a great outlet, a great stress reliever. But going up and playing, there's just really something special about being able to go up there and write a song that's personal to you, or about something you see in the world, and have people connect with it. When you see that they're watching you, and you just, it's really cool. Like, sometimes people have never heard the song, and by the second time I do the chorus, I see them starting to sing along. And that's such an amazing feeling to, be able to affect people like that.
So what you're saying is it's therapeutic, and music is therapeutic, and it's relaxing, and it's entertaining, and it's fun, and you enjoy it. It's rewarding. It's a rewarding feeling to be able to get up in front of an audience, tell a story in a song, and entertain the people at the same time. Yeah,
performing it's enjoyable.
It's a challenge, but it's enjoyable. I got you. Okay. Yeah, very good. So, yeah, I want to say, you have all kinds of, it sounds like you've had all kinds of experiences. Um, let's, some other things. You're at a performance now in which you tried so hard to make it work, and for some reason it did not quite work. Any experience it's unforgettable, but it's very, very frustrating. You tried your best, you gave it your best, but for some reason it didn't quite work.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there's been nights like that. I've been playing a while, so you probably. I don't think you ever have I don't ever think you ever go through a whole career and you don't have that happen. I think that would be impossible. And it just be, to me, it'd be kind of like, let's say you're a pro athlete, pro football player or something. You have an off game. It's going to happen. You don't throw in the towel. You go, okay, I had an off game. What did I do wrong? Was it me? Was it just one of those nights where, I don't know, things happen? You know, it was just kind of the mood of the place, whatever. Definitely go back and look at it. What could I have done differently? But you don't let it stop you. Just, you know what? I've got another show in 2 nights, and I'm going to make that a better show. I'm going to do better.
Has that ever happened to you, that experience, though? I know that's how you would. Has that actually ever happened? You know, any of your performances?
Yeah, I've had shows where I'm like, that wasn't the best show. Yeah.
What was wrong with it? What was wrong with it, and what could you have done differently? And what exactly?
You know, off the top of my head, I can't really remember. I just remember having shows that, if for whatever reason, just, you know, maybe you're just not feeling well, or I don't know. I can't like pinpoint a date and time and say this is such and such a date or whatever.
Maybe the equipment didn't work or something, or you got there a little later, or you weren't feeling good. It could have been anything. There's
just a myriad of reasons of things where they can set a night off, but you just do the best you can and move forward.
That's all anyone can do. Have you ever had a time where you try to remember, of course, you practice hard to remember the songs, the lyrics in a performance that you tried, and all of a sudden you got a blank in your performance, either that or even also in writing a song, either way. And if so, how did you handle that?
I forget the words all the time. My own damn songs. Yeah. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it happens. I don't let that, you know, especially when you're playing your own songs, make up a word, you know, or you just solo a little bit like, oh, what is it? I'm just going to solo for a little bit here. Okay. I remember the word now, you know, and go back into it. That's normal.
So you probably improvise and try to.
Yeah, and it's not just me. You know, I have a lot of friends who are, you know, musicians and stuff, and it happens. You know, you're playing a couple hours, you forget a word or two. It's not a big deal. I mean, what's most important in those moments is you just don't freeze. You just start soloing, or you just kind of make up a word and roll with it, and that's all. You just don't stop and go. Just roll with it. You know, it'll come to you.
So you got to act like it didn't happen. Just go right over it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, you have audience participation at your shows where people are doing the wave, maybe they're clapping or applauding or whatever. And if so, how do you get them started and everything? How do you get started? Get them started in audience participation. That's important to get the audience to participate.
Just start playing. Just wait for it to it happens. You know, some songs you kind of know might happen. Because you play the same songs over and over, and you see audiences, how they respond to it, and so, but talking to the audience and every audience is different. You just gotta roll with it as it happens, and you find your way. I mean, you can never walk on stage and think it's going to be predictable. That's one of the biggest things I can tell you. And you just start playing and you see where the crowd is and you just roll with it. and you make the best of it.
What would be your best experience as a singer, songwriter, in your entire career? The one that stands out the most exciting experience, and also what would be the worst experience that you've ever had that you want to forget, but you'll never forget it. It was so bad. Can you describe any of these experiences?
Probably one and the same. The day that Gary Harrison offered me the record deal, Mercury Records, and was the most exciting. And when I said no and left and thought my world was over.
Why did you say no? It wasn't what you wanted. It was.
It was in country, and they would have had to change around the music, change around me to make me fit in, to the country genre, and I felt like it would have been a lie. I mean, it was extremely impressive to have someone like him think that I was good enough. I mean, it was amazing. It was, those are the words you wait to hear all your life, but
you turned it in. Okay. How do they find you, and how do they find you? That's a compliment that they came
BMI. Roger Sovine was head of A&R at BMI, and
artist and repertoire. Okay. Yeah.
And I literally called them up and said, okay, I'm under you, and you're supposed to be representing me. I want to meet with somebody. They put me through Roger Sovine.
Wow.
Try that today. It won't happen. I don't know. Things were different back then. But I went, he talked to me on the phone, invited me into his office, which was huge. And I played 3 songs for him. And he liked them. And he put me in BMI showcases to play for the labels.
That's something to be proud of. That's something.
And that's how it happened. That's how it happened.
Is there an opposite experience that was so bad, even though you'll never forget it? It was something that well, you want to forget it, but you can't forget how bad it was. Is there anything like that happened in your career?
I'm sure there are quite a few things. I do remember saying no to that record deal, and it was, I quit music after that.
You did? And why?
Yes, I did. I went back home to Houston and got my degrees. I mean, I felt like, most people would have said, holy heck, I just got offered a record deal. I'm good enough, and go to a different town, maybe move to LA or New York or something like that, or consider changing. But I was just like, I'm not going to fit in anywhere, because the style of music that I play, people who are in rock told me, oh, I sound country. And people who are in country told me I sounded rock.
Wow.
So I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere, but that's kind of Americana. It's a mashup of everything.
Well, one turns one person on, may turn someone else off.
So I just felt like I don't fit in anywhere, and it was so discouraging. I'm like, oh, well, I'm done. And I didn't want to be one of those people who, are 50 years old with a dead end job and no health insurance and nothing, going, I can still make it. I'm like, I'm gonna get a degree. I'm gonna have something, but I'm not gonna end up,
You wanted something to fall back on. You didn't want to.
Yes. I just felt like I need to do that now, and really, it was. There's nothing wrong with going to college. There's nothing wrong with getting smarter. So,
you're right. You can always
college was a good thing. It really was, and it's definitely made me a lot better on the business end of things now.
Oh, good. That's good. You've accomplished quite a bit. What about now? Have you had any shows in which you entered, like music festivals or any music awards shows? And did you enter in any? And if you did you win any awards? And tell me about any of those experiences.
The music video for my first single, Fire in the Hole, has won official selection in several film festivals. And I just went to a video award for that last Saturday.
Really?
And it's also up for Best Music Video in the Carolina Film Festival. I think that's in June. I have to check my data. I can't remember. But so it's still up for one more award.
Now, how did you create Fire of the Hole? And also, how did you go about creating your music video?
The song was written about a bar I was playing at in Austin with my band. And we were on stage playing. And I look over and the bartender was putting 151 in his mouth and spitting it out and lighting it on fire, shooting it up.
Really?
And I'm like, what? And so that's how that song started. And I kind of threw in a lot of different places that I played at during that, different bars and stuff that I performed at. But that was really the start of it. And there was a bar here in Apex, North Carolina, called Local Bar that I played at. And I was like, this place is the epitome of Fire in the Hole. I mean, it was just like, it just fit the song. And so when it came time to make the video, I asked them, I said, can I make this video here? And they're like, yeah, make the video here. So I just got a bunch of friends and a bunch of people showed up and we filmed the video there. And it was great. It was a lot of fun.
So what went into making that music video then? What was involved in doing that?
I got Rob Underhill and Evelyn Putnam to make it. And the band that's with me on stage, none of them knew the song. They're my friends. they're musicians, but they didn't know the song. I'm like, just show up and act cool. We're gonna have fun. And I just had certain scenes that I wanted to be in it. And we wrote it down frame by frame. For every second of the video for the song, you have to have something on the video. And so I just wrote all that out, and we filmed it.
Sounds like you had all the fun.
Yes, it was. It was a good time.
Was that your first music video, or were there other ones that you
Yes, it was my first music video. Yep.
Oh, that must have been something to remember then. Something.
Oh yeah, it was a great time.
Sounds like it. You had fun, and so did the people. Wow.
Yes.
That's great. And besides, you created a
Yes.
music video and an original song. Now, on the it sounds like you do mostly originals. What about covers? Do you ever do any cover songs?
I do, because where I'm playing at right now is very heavily inundated with cover bands.
I see.
So I do about 60% originals, 40% covers.
Gotcha. So in other words, you enjoy doing the originals, but every once in a while you'll change it up and do some covers.
Sure. Yeah.
Are there any favorite covers that you've have covered?
Yeah, there's I like Chicken Fried by the Zach Brown Band, Running Down a Dream by Tom Petty. Yeah, there's some different ones. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And out of your different original songs now, are there any original ones that you have created that you feel stand out in your mind and are your favorites, or you like them all equally, your original songs?
No, I don't like them all equal. I mean, I think some are definitely better than others. And I think some of my favorite ones, there's a new one I wrote called Double Wide that gets requested a lot. And I like that one better than A Good Thing. My single that's out right now, Falling Off the Merry-Go-Round, is
What's the
one
Falling
of
Off
my
the
favorites.
Merry-Go-Round stuff? Now because that's some kind of a special social issue, I think. Tell me about the falling off.
That's about school shootings.
School shootings. Okay. Yeah, there's been a lot of shootings and a lot of violence, that's for sure.
Yes. And that's what that song is about. And so that's definitely leans on the rock side. And that's one of my favorite songs.
It is, huh? Based upon the experiences that are happening, of the violence, the shootings, that sounds like that's how you came up with that idea.
Oh, yes, definitely. Yes.
Have you ever done any songs which work with charity at all, and done any songs for charitable organizations?
No, not yet. Mm-mm.
Okay. Now, as far as collaborating, you say, okay, right now you're solo and you're looking for a band, so you can go out and tour. Have you ever worked with a band or collaborated with other people in the past?
Oh, yes, I did have a band back in Houston. Yes.
You did. Okay.
I did have a band, and yeah, we played throughout Houston and Austin. As far as collaborating or writing on songs, no. I've always just written my own songs.
You're accustomed to be independent, so
Yeah.
So I guess that's something you enjoy. And in other words, it doesn't matter. It doesn't sound like it's something you have to collaborate with others. I don't know if you're open to that or not.
Yeah, of course I'm open to it. Sure, if it ever happened, that'd be cool. But you know, so far I've only written on my own. But that'd be great if I wrote with someone else sometime. Sure.
So you're open to that. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
Like this, life is like a box of chocolates. You never quite know what you're going to get.
That's it. Yeah.
Tom Hanks, you remember in Forrest Gump. Well, it's true. It's true. You never know. You never know. That's great. Well, wow. You have. I can tell you've had and continue to have a very exciting, and entertaining and inspiring life, Pam, going forward.
I'm hoping so. It's doing well.
Blazing forward. Oh yeah.
Yes, it's definitely been a lot more exciting since signing on with MTS.
And you're a survivor. I mean, how'd you deal with the COVID when COVID was happening? I mean, that was terrible. But a lot of people were, they lost their job or they were sick or a lot of people passed, and it was a tough time. So how were you able to handle COVID?
I just went on with my life. That's. I mean, I don't know. I didn't it didn't really affect me. I did get COVID. Matter of fact, this time last year is when I had it. But overall, it didn't really impact me mentally or emotionally. I just did my normal stuff. I went running, and it was weird not being able to go out to eat and things like that. The whole aspect of it was really strange, but I knew eventually we would get over it. So I didn't, it didn't freak me out or anything. I was just like, can we get over this, please, please? Like a lot of people, just ready to get done with it.
You survived, and if you're healthy, you're wealthy. As long as you take good care of yourself, that's important. Sure, everybody wants to make money and, get the better things in life financially, but it's important, of course, for your health.
Yeah.
You have millions of dollars. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
Exactly. So I just, did what we were told to do and just waited for it to pass.
That's great. I want to give a good shout out to entertainment publicist Michael Stover. Michael Stover made it possible for me to get this interview with you, Pam.
Yes, Michael's awesome. He's been incredible for me.
He's really helped you, hasn't he?
Yeah. Oh yes, tremendously.
And how would you say he's really helped you in your career?
My streaming has gone through the roof since him, both for my songs and my videos have really, gone up a lot. Well,
that's great. Well, he loves what he's doing, and he's fantastic. And I've had many people from Michael. He's been able to network with me and give me quite a few people have appeared on my show. Not always. Sometimes they can't. The timing is wrong, or it's too late, or they can't do it. They're busy with something else, another gig or whatever. But there's been more than one time I've had them say that. They say, "Well, the person can do it at a certain time," and that's it. So I'm glad that Michael and I we hit it off, and it helps. It's beneficial. It's definitely beneficial.
Yes.
I thought I'd like to mention that. Okay. Let me say, if you had anything to do over again, Pam, in your life and your career, would you do anything differently?
I'm not sure. I've often thought about, what would life have been if I said yes to Gary Harrison, but it probably was the best thing that I said no. I think one of the things I would have changed is right after I graduated college, went right back into music instead of taking a longer break. I wish I would have just went directly back into music.
We'll go right back into music. Okay.
Yeah, instead of waiting a few more years.
I see. And do you have any present projects, Pam, that you're working on currently?
Trying to get a video made for Falling Off the Merry-Go-Round. I don't know if it will happen. I'm speaking with a a company based out of New York and London called 19th and 7th. It'll be great if we can get it done, but don't know for sure. So that and trying to put the band together so I can go out on tour, the two big things that I'm working on.
I see. Where would you want to tour? If you did put the band together, where would you want to go to? Any particular places?
Probably have to really sit down and look and see where the songs are streaming the most, because those are obviously the best places to go, because that's where your music's doing the best at. But probably start around here on the Carolinas, up along the coast. I wouldn't mind going back home to around Houston and doing along the third coast there, along the Gulf Coast.
I see. What do you think about the talent shows now in entertainment, like America's Got Talent, X Factor, The Voice, American Idol? What do you think of those for people trying to make it, get discovered, and be successful in entertainment and singing and songwriting?
I don't watch them.
I'm
honestly, I'm not interested in them. I mean, like, especially like the singing songs, the singing competition things. I remember when they very first started, and they would show people like preliminary, and they would have people that obviously weren't very good at all. And you're thinking, how did they get to that point? And then you realize that they were doing it just for ratings, to kind of make fun of people. That bothered me. And so I think like I've maybe watched like a little bit of maybe 3 times. Also, like some of my favorite singers, I mean, like, do you think Neil Young would win a singing competition? Or Bob Dylan would win a singing competition? Or Kurt Cobain? Probably not, but they're brilliant. You know?
Some of them didn't win it all the way, but they still went on and were successful. Like
yes, they're not like the best singers. No, they're not going to win a singing competition, but they've got so much more. I mean, maybe their voice isn't the best, but their voice is great for what they do and how they use it. But if you're just going to put them on stage and tell them to sing someone else's songs, they'd be like, what the heck? You know, you can't. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't pay attention to them really.
You're not much of a fan of it. Do you think it helps at all? People that want to make it in entertainment, aspiring singers and songwriters.
I don't know. There's been a couple people who've done well, I think, haven't there?
Well, yeah. Remember Kelly Clarkson, for example. She started American Idol. She's done phenomenal. I mean, Kelly Clarkson now has her own award-winning talk show. She's been doing it for 4 years now. A lot of her songs have sold. I mean, starting off with in a moment like this, and then she's had some other songs, you know, Breakaway, and there were some many other ones that she's had some big hits. And then, of course, then she's a coach on The Voice and going to Las Vegas this summer with many shows. And she's done very well. There's been other people too.
Obviously something good can come from it, you know.
Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson didn't win it, but she's still successful as an actress, and you know she has her own talk show also. Well, it's a little bit of everything.
Go for it then.
Right. Okay. So it depends upon the person. So you're not a fan.
Yeah. I mean, myself, you know, no, I don't. I don't watch those at all. But you know, if you've got an awesome voice, go for it. Why not?
Have you had experience now? Tell me if you had any experience working with celebrities at all. You ever had any experience? And if you did, tell me about that. Any experiences that stand out?
Working with celebrities?
Yeah, meeting or working with celebrities. Have you ever?
When I lived in Nashville, I waited on tables. I waited on quite a few famous people, but other than that, no.
I see. Well, I saw Adam Sandler once at Mel's Diner. I saw him. He was a nice guy. And then she's no longer alive, but the one Joni, that played Joni in Happy Days.
Yeah.
She was at a table in the restaurant at that time.
I waited on Reba McEntire, and she was very, very nice.
Yeah.
The Dixie Chicks at different times. Vince Gill. Tony Arata, which is an incredible songwriter, one of my favorite songwriters. Yeah, a lot of people passed through there when I was at a place I worked at in Nashville. But working with them, no, not yet.
Okay, you never know. What about television now? Have you had any experiences like in television or even in movies, anything appearing in any TV shows or movies at all?
Nope. One of my songs, No One Around, was picked up by Rensong Entertainment in Nashville to be pitched for movies. As of yet, they haven't found a placement for it, but that's so far that's it.
I see. Okay. Now, do you have any future dream projects in the future you haven't done that you'd like to consider doing down the line in the future? Is there any future projects that you're?
I guess just make another record after this one and tour. I'd like to go on a really nice tour all around the country. Gotcha.
So you'd like to make a record, you'd like to tour. So you never know. Maybe you'll do a movie, maybe do a documentary. You never know. One never knows in life.
Some more music videos. They're fun to do.
Right. What is there about music videos that excites you? What is there about it? You've done several.
Bringing the song to life. Because when you're writing, I see something visual, and I try to paint that in my lyrics. But it's fun, just kind of bringing it to life, in a sense.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It's lively, it's exciting, and it's entertaining.
Yeah, it's just really fun. Just watching it. Sit back and watch everything you had in your head when you were writing the song. To share it in that way.
Tell a story or whatever you're doing.
Yes.
It's slow or it's fast or whatever.
Yep.
Whatever excites you, whatever you want to do. It's an adventure, right?
Yes, it is.
Writing songs, performing. It does take a special talent. Not just anybody can do it. That's for sure. That's something to be proud of. It really is. Yeah,
videos are fun. I really enjoy doing them.
All right. Well, Pam, how can people if people want to find out more about you and your life and your career, can you give me an idea, give me the links where you're at, an entertainment website or Facebook or YouTube channel or maybe Spotify or
Pam Ross Music. I keep the same name for everything. You can go to pamrossmusic.com.
Okay.
And that will take you to my music website, and it has all the links for Facebook, Instagram, everything on there. You can see my music videos, and my music is on there. Go to Facebook and type in Pam Ross Music, and you'll bring me up on Facebook, and the same thing with Instagram.
And what about a YouTube channel? You also have a YouTube channel?
Yep, YouTube. Go to Pam Ross Music. Pam Ross, I'll pop up.
Do you have? Are you on LinkedIn or are you on IMDb at all?
Pardon me?
Are you on LinkedIn or IMDb or Spotify or
I am on Spotify. I'm on Spotify. Anywhere you can stream music or buy music, just put in Pam Ross, ROSS, and it'll come up. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not on LinkedIn. No.
I see. Well, you're all over. You are. So it shouldn't be hard for people. Any fans? Are any fans out there or friends to find you? That's for sure. Okay.
Yes, just one name though. I kept it easy. Not a different name for Facebook and Instagram and all that. Just Pam Ross Music, and you got it.
That's easy to remember. Pam Ross Music. There you go. Anyway, as we get closer to closing and wrapping up the show, we have a blazing forward. Well, we have the vocal stylings, ladies and gentlemen, of Pam Ross, and so we're going to blaze forward. And the first song is called "Holding Off Merry-Go-Round," the one that she was describing earlier. So let's go for it. Bravo, Pam.
Thank you.
That was fun. That's entertaining. Sends a message, that's for sure. Moving right along, we have the next song, ladies and gentlemen, from Pam Ross, the vocal styling, Blaze Forward. It's called Fire in the Hole. So go for it. Have a blazing hot fun one time.
Set it on fire, don't forget the roof. The bartender's crazy, light and 100 proof. Fire in the hole, there's a fire in the hole. Everyone's friendly drinking in here, but how we're getting home isn't quite clear. Fire in the hole, there's a fire in the hole. And everything is best when it's out of control, when there's a fire in the hole. It's the bar down the street, across the tracks. Once the flames are lit, no going back. Fire in the hole, there's a fire in the hole. Perfume of whiskey hanging in the air, cool sticks of music, everybody's there. Fire in the hole, there's a fire in the hole. And everything is best when it's out of control, when there's a fire in the hole. One more round, my friends, set 'em up again, toss the dice and let 'em roll. Turn the music up, we can't get enough, pop the clutch and let it go. We're gonna burn it down, turning up the sound, strike the match and watch it blow. Fire in the hole. Watch them explode, hottest training grounds for down below. Fire in the hole, there's a fire in the hole. Order one more, watch it disappear. 2:30 and we're all still here. Fire in the hole, there's a fire in the hole. And everything is best when it's out of control, when there's a fire in the hole. One more round, my friends, set 'em up again, toss the dice and let it roll. Turn the music up, we can't get enough, pop the clutch and let it go. We're gonna burn it down, turn it up the sound, strike the match and watch it blow. Fire in the hole. And everything is best when it's out of control, when there's a fire in the hole.
Yeah. Fire in the hole. That's awesome. And our last song, ladies and gentlemen, blazing right ahead with Pam Ross. Her last original song is called No One Around. Let's go for it. Have a blazing hot one time. Relax and enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
See your face through the trees. I remember I loved you following me. Yeah, me. I waited in the shadows for you to come along. We ran till the evening sun had gone. Oh, gone. sun had long gone down. Together there on the ground, and there was no one I still hear the backwoods calling. I still see your face through the trees. I remember I loved you following me. Yeah, me. I still hear the backwoods calling. I still hear the backwoods calling.
Yeah. Great. That's great, Pam.
Thank you.
True artist, very original, entertaining, and fun. I'll ask our final question as we get ready to wrap up and close the show. Pam, you have any advice for singers and songwriters, people who want to make it in entertainment? Any advice, final words of advice and encouragement?
Just do what you like to do. Don't be yourself. You can never shine in someone else's shadow. Just be yourself. I wouldn't try and worry about hooking on to what's hip or trendy or changing to try and fit in. Play the music you like to play and go out and play it. I mean, best thing you can be is who you are.
I understand. Yeah, that's right. Be yourself. Till they own self be true, right?
That's it. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, Pam. Well, you know what, Pam Ross, I do want to thank you very much for being such an entertaining, fun, and inspirational guest on the Amazing Original Johnny Blaze Show. Thank you for being on our show.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you so much.
It's been my pleasure. Time has gone by very fast. And as you know, right now, I want to say for all my fans and friends, always keep a smile on your face and a song in your heart. And until next time, happy trails and blaze out.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be a guest on an entertainment talk show, please send us an email at amazingoriginalJBshow@gmail.com. All of our episodes will appear on YouTube and Facebook and receive over 3,000 views. Don't forget to sign up for our YouTube channel, and every guest will receive a complimentary DVD of their appearance on the show. Remember, we are much better than a podcast. And now, the amazing original Johnny Blaze has just left the building. Good night. God bless.